Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to finally start seeing things move. All right, we're going to put together the microcontroller board with the uh, motor driver board, connect up our motor and see things in action. Now let's first have a look at the hardware that we're going to deal with. Now over here, we have our main Seed Studio microcontroller board, which we have been dealing with. Now, this is the motor expansion board. Now, this motor expansion board over here, from my earlier video, you would have seen that we have to have the power supply here, and it can drive 2 DC motors and 1 stepper motor. Look at the data sheet for this. So in the data sheet for this controller, okay, they have given us the details of all the components and the features. Now what we need to do is we need to come down to the resources link and click on this button here that says this link that says Grove Motor Driver Software Library. So when you click on this, it will download this zip file. As you can see, it's a zip file. And this zip file is basically the library, the package that we're going to be using to control the motor. Okay, so go ahead and click this first. Now, after you click it and you download it, what will happen? You need to come back and install or add that library to the Arduino IDE. So go to File, Sketch, Include Library, Add Zip Library. Okay, so once you click Add Zip Library, you need to navigate to wherever you have installed the software package. From the earlier video, we have installed the library to control the OLED display, and now we are installing the library for the motor control. So click on Open. It will, so this already exists. It asks whether you want to override it. So it's fine, I will override it. And what you should see is the library is installed successfully. Now, once this is done, we can actually run our test code. Now, before we run our test code, we need to physically connect the expansion, the microcontroller board to the motor driver board. And that is through the Grove I2C cable, okay, or the Grove connector cables here. Now, these cables come with the motor expansion board. And what you need to do is you just need to make sure that you plug it in to the correct port. Now, in your microcontroller board over here, you will see 4 main connectors. You need to look for the one that says IIC or I2C. Okay, so that is the protocol we are using for the development board to communicate with the motor driver board. So connect the 2 boards together using this Grove cable. Now, one other thing you need is you need the power. So to drive your motor, you need additional external power. So that is where these 2 connectors come in. Here I've connected them to a 9-volt battery. Okay, and this motor is basically what we call a N20 motor, easily available in most hardware shops or online. And they come with different speeds, 50 RPM, 100 RPM, and so on. This particular one is 200 RPM. Okay, now that all the setup is done and the connections are there, let's go ahead to run the code. Okay, so the code is already available through one of the examples. So go to File, Examples, go down to Grove Motor Driver and select DC Motor. Okay, select DC Motor. Okay, so it'll open up a new sketch with the example. Now, do not need to worry about the code for now. Let's just see it running. Now, before we run, just to make sure that we can actually see the motor running, I have my wheel printed out here, which we're going to be using for the project. I'm going to be connecting the wheel, all right, to the N20 motor here. Okay, so let's Let's go ahead and download this code. So you do not need to make any changes to the software. All you need to do is to make sure that the hardware setup is correct. The power supply, the Grove I2C cable, and the motor. So the N20 motor, as you can see, can be connected to A2 or B2, all right, using the two wires. Okay, so let it compile, and then we can see how the whole system is going to operate. Okay, so there you have it. The motor is spinning. At one instance is clockwise, in another instance is anti-clockwise. Okay, so as you can see, using the Grove motor driver and their code, it is actually very easy to get started with the motor development and control. What I'm going to do is just to quickly run through this example over here. Okay, and I'm going to mount the motor here on a chassis so that it's easier. Now, what we see here is that we have the motor running. Maybe what I'll do is I'll disconnect it over here so it won't make so much of noise. Now, over here, what we have is the setup code, which is wire.begin, serial.begin, and motor.init. Now, this serial.begin, if you remember, it is to actually activate the serial monitor. Now let's come back here and actually open up the serial monitor here. Okay, so you can see that the serial monitor is telling us that it is running at speed 255 for 1 second, then is braking the motors for 1 second, and then running at minus 200 for another 1 second. And then again stopping both the motors, and the whole thing is looping. So this gives us a very clear idea how to use the library functions. If I want the motors to move, okay, I will say DC motor run. Okay, and when I say DC motor run, I can give it a value, okay, from anywhere between minus 255 to 255, as you can see from the pop-up here. So by moving my mouse over the DC motor run, I actually get the information on how to use this function. As you can see from the description, if the speed or the value that I give is greater than 0, it goes clockwise. If not, it goes anti-clockwise. So that is the important thing. So what we are seeing here is when the value is positive, it is going clockwise. If it is negative, it is going anti-clockwise. If I want it to stop, I used a DC motor brake function. So for the brake function, there is no, there's only a single parameter, which is which channel you are referring to. Okay, so in this example code, of course, they are running both channel A and channel B, which is what we will be doing for the project. Okay, but in our current hardware setup, we are only using channel A. So this, I hope, is a very good introduction to you on how to put everything together and get the system up and running. So I will see you soon in my next video where we will start to assemble the rest of the robot. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.